Hi guys, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Rose and I are on the rock in the middle of the creek. We're gonna do a tarot oracle creek reading for you, but something weird just happened, so even before I get to the intro. So all of the cars just kind of came to a stop. I kind of thought that was weird. Then I looked ahead and I thought at first it was a very big dog in the creek, until it stood up and it was a bear. So a bear just crossed the creek. I actually have it on video. I'm gonna put it at the end of this reading. I have never been in the creek, especially in the middle of the day, and a bear just kind of like took a little swim across. I guess you know it's a scorcher out. Even the bear came out to take a little dip in the creek today. So maybe you're even connecting to a bear energy as a totem, as your spirit animal. Maybe somebody's come out of hibernation or needs to cool something down a little bit. Maybe it's even with the water tapping into an emotional situation or a cleansing kind of energy. Maybe it's getting across the creek, you know, like getting across the bridge. Or maybe you just don't even need a bridge, you just wade through the water. I am kind of getting a going with the flow kind of energy here. So let's see what's coming through. It's a timeless collective reading. See what feels like it resonates. You'll know it'll feel special. And always follow and trust that divine connection you have to your higher self, to God, to source, to the universe, because the answer is always in you. And try to make balanced decisions between logic and intuition, so your decisions are sound, they're based in love and for the highest greatest good of everybody, so we're all uplifted in love. Let's begin with the tarot and see what the overall situation is. Rose is here. She's so good. She's on like high alert right now. So let's see what's going on. Let's see what God, Source, Holy Spirit, Christ consciousness, our higher selves, angels, and energies of love have for the highest and greatest good of all. What is the most prominent energy to be aware of today for the collective, please? And thank you. You see how that one's sticking out? I think that's our card. That's the Wheel of Fortune. So something's gonna change. It's a change in the wind, a change in your energy, a change in vibration. It's maybe where if you felt like you were stuck in the cave or you were hibernating a little bit too long, this is you getting a little itchy. I'm also getting a complete release. Usually I see you taking control of the wheel, and I actually feel like you let control go. Interesting. I actually feel like somebody was overly concerned or really in their head about maybe the opinions of others, or I see likes, if you're gonna get likes on your social media, or if that project will be received, or if that person is gonna like you, or how is this partnership gonna turn out, all of that stuff. I feel, I kind of feel like once you don't give a shit what they think, how it, you know, how it manifests, if it does or if it doesn't, that's actually when something is going to change and manifest and really feel like fortune's wheel is turning in your favor. It's almost when you just completely release the need to control the outcome, the agenda, the timing, the whatever, and forget about it, that it happens. I like that message. So Wheel of Fortune, look at you have a door appearing out of nowhere. In the middle of this field, all of a sudden you're like, oh, this is just supposed to be a field. Hello, doorway. And why are you opening up just for me? And then look in that door. It's like wherever you were walking before, looks like it was kind of dry and barren and, you know, kind of not blossoming and gray and weird. And even the clouds were kind of stormy. And then you have this compass, this gift that you've received. It's almost like Spirit gifted you the map. So if you, I'm seeing a maze. If you felt like you were in a maze of confusion or illusion, or you didn't really have the right direction, you're getting an epiphany on the right direction, at least the right next step to take, the right door to open, you know, the right archway to walk through. And there's something about where you're going. Look at how vibrant it is. There's also a rainbow. So maybe you feel like you found, I'm actually seeing the peaceful energy at the end of the rainbow. So maybe it was a stormy situation. Maybe it's also, I don't know, I see the clouds clearing and the beautiful blue sky ahead of you. And all of a sudden, what was this brown, dried up, you know, like field is this lush grass. I am getting that grass is greener energy here for some of you. Maybe if you or somebody you were connected to thought that the grass was greener, I'm kind of getting that maybe they went through the wrong door and they found out that green grass was actually just plastic astroturf. Maybe it's also recognizing that the grass is greener where it's watered. But there's something about maybe your effort on something you need to water or nurture, but I also feel like the season, the energy, spirit is bringing some rain to help you out. I feel like there's something natural about a situation where you don't have to have so much maintenance on something. So maybe you are changing a foundation or a location or a partnership or how you are doing something. I feel like something's gonna flow in sync with the natural rhythm or nature. It's a lucky twist of fate for some of you. That's at the bottom. Oh, maybe it is something about the treasure at the end of the rainbow. Maybe you are starting to vibrate differently. This is where you're noticed. So this could be where others are looking at you in awe, in wonder, seeing you at the top of your game, maybe, the top of the world, or how you handle changes in your life like a superhero. That was kind of cool. I mean, look at that person. I feel like you're at the position here where at the top of this mountain, on stage, shining at your podium, wherever you are, I feel like you could, I actually just see somebody, I just see somebody like dancing around in their underwear in their bedroom with their favorite song on, and like a little kid like bouncing in the bed. So I'm getting that it's not about the audience. It's almost like you don't care if somebody showed up to the show or not. You are shining on your stage, on your platform, in your energy, because you believe in what you're doing. I'm getting that you really believe in yourself. You're not looking for outside validation to know if you did a good job or not. You're looking at your own progress, your own, forward movement and cycles of your life, and seeing how much progress you have made. I feel like you are even looking back at the past and seeing how now, even if there's a similar-ish situation, you are handling it so differently than you would have a year ago. Wow, that was very specific. Maybe you've come a long way in a year. The Six of Wands is feeling victorious. It's feeling like, I hear like a win under your belt, but I'm getting that it's not even about the trophy or about the win. It's about all of the effort you put to get to that place where you feel satisfied and in gratitude of where you are right now. You could, let's just say it's a football team here, and it's not just you alone. I kind of feel like even if you were like the losing team, you lost every single game, but you found, the most amazing teammates to work with and the most amazing experiences through your, through your training and through the practice games and the real games, that even if you get like that kind of like little slump at the end and the wheel kind of didn't turn in your favor and you didn't quite win, you still won somehow. I feel like a lot of this has to do with how you are perceiving something, and I feel like most of that is how you are perceiving yourself. I am getting that you're proud of yourself. I'm also seeing that others are proud of you. Maybe you're even up there being an inspiration to others. I kind of keep hearing that you don't really give a crap, you don't give a shit energy. I feel like even if, let's just say you're at a meeting, and you really want to know like if what you're presenting or if what you suggested is heard, and then you say something at that meeting, or you say something, with a new partner, whatever it is, and then, the rest of the time you're not even engaged in the meeting or the conversation because you're thinking to yourself like, oh my gosh, did I sound like a weirdo? Was that idea even good? Am I going to be heard? And you're having this like internal dialogue, almost overthinking kind of energy, that it's so overly, you're still putting all of this, what if kind of energy out there, that it's almost like lack of connection, and almost I'm getting a lessened, I hear connection, like connection, or I'm even getting respect, but in a very soft way from others. Whereas if you just kind of don't care and you're like, that's your opinion, that's your authentic truth, you're gonna throw it out there whether it's received or not, even if you mess up on something, you know, if you're up there speaking about something and you have the speech prepared, but then, you know, something, I just saw like, I don't know why, I just saw like somebody, like I heard a whoopee cushion. So like, you know, you trip up the stairs or you fart or you burp or something kind of natural comes about. I feel like maybe that even lightens something up, but there's more a connection with that raw, realistic you that just kind of goes with it. I'm also getting it's how you handle the flub. You know, if you kind of, I'm getting that almost like a comedian does, where they find a connection through the things that would generally make them or somebody else insecure by shining a light on that insecurity, and it actually connects to the humanity of others way better than somebody pretending that they're perfect all of the time. Hopefully that made sense. There's something about just being raw and real and not caring and letting something go, and all of a sudden everything starts to flow. You know, the right connections come in. You are admired, but I feel like it's because you're authentic and you're real and you're not afraid to even be the novice or not be the best or not be the one that has the trophy. And that actually makes you stand out and be respected even more. Upside down, it's a little bit of an energy of up there on your high horse. It's the person that is admired often, but then they don't look down to see who supported them along the way. Even if it was that team that you lost against, how did that make you stronger? It's having appreciation for, you know, the little friction that got you better, and also the support you received that got you better. And I feel like if you sit up there on that horse too long, if you've ever had, you know, if you've ever been on a long trail ride on a horse and you don't let your ass have a break off the horse, you get saddle sore. And then you're like walking like a cowboy, you know, like, you know, so there's something about somebody's going to get a little like, you know, saddle sore if they stay up in the high horse too long. I hear breaking free, and I just did get that vision where somebody was on like the carousel, and the carousel becomes a real horse, and now that real horse feels like I don't know, I'm getting that stall energy. Maybe something was stalled, or the horse was in the stall so long they didn't even realize how fast they could run, how powerful they are. And maybe that's you, maybe that's somebody else. Maybe that barn door is about to open. Maybe somebody's even a little apprehensive whether they should or should not go through that door. It's like, I don't know, it's a big world out there. You've looked through the window so long, you're not sure if you can handle that field. But there's something where the vibration feels right. It feels like it's calling you. It feels like it's time to step up on, you know, on that stage, or step up to bat, get off of the bench, try to take a swing because you're going to hit a home run. You know, it's going to really, I hear you're going to knock it out of the park. A glorious win. Let's look at these upside down. It would be unforeseen challenge. Well, even if you're looking at that challenge as a gift, that challenge as a blessing, that challenge as a, yeah, bring the challenge on, I can do it, then I feel like you're going to still accomplish something faster than you would in the past. Maybe it's facing something head on. You know, if you're not a little challenged in your life, if you don't have a little friction, then it's complacency. You know, you feel stagnant. You feel like there's no growth. You know, you don't feel like you're expanding, and we're here to grow, not to stay plateaued our whole life. That'd be rather boring. So upside down is a fall from grace. That's being up there on the high horse, and all of a sudden, like, the horse bucks up and you're like, woo, I'm on the ground now. So maybe it is, you know, getting up again after the fall. I like that these messages are actually coming both ways here, because I feel like the fall is okay. The fall is okay, especially if you pay more attention to how you get back up afterwards. I feel like that's the biggest message here. So let's get you a spirit message. I have to skedaddle pretty soon, so it's going to be kind of a shorter reading, but that doesn't mean it doesn't have validity. So let's get you a spirit message. What would be the wow, that was quick. Biggest spirit message for the collective right now. I have my glasses, hold on, let's see. Oh my goodness, they're so dirty. Let's do it anyway. Sometimes, oh, I like this. This is strong. Are you ready? Sometimes walking away is the only option, not because you want to make somebody miss you or realize they took you for granted, but because you finally respect yourself enough to know you deserve better. So if you're walking away from anything that was only half in or energetically not there or not healthy for you, even if that's that letting go energy, you know, if you're holding on to someone or something or an outcome or an agenda or whatever to have it happen a certain way, sometimes you just got to let go, let God, see what is attracted to you, whether that's healthy or not. You're standing in your own power, knowing you always deserve more. But that more energy is always, you know, that continual raising the bar higher and higher for yourself. Not that it's a standard thing or you're putting, I'm getting that there's no limit to whatever you're doing. I feel like it's more like you're, you know, climbing a ladder, but you want to keep growing. You don't want to see one perspective and then just stay there. You want to gain all perspectives of a situation, but that's your own growth. Sometimes you have to have a weird energy or a weird situation in your life because you couldn't have had that lesson without that weird teacher in your life. And it's also that energy, it's you're not trying to make something happen. You know, you're not doing something to get this specific outcome, which is still that attachment energy. Like, I'm going to go away so they miss me. They do, they don't. You're going away because it's the healthiest thing for you. And you're taking yourself out of any situation that is actually out of your control, which is usually anything that has to do with anybody else's free will. If there's a connection that comes in, you and another individual or you and a group all have your own free will choices to choose, to work together, to not. I'm getting to build. I actually heard or to sabotage. It's possible that sometimes people aren't even that conscious of their choices and they aren't aware that their actions are, I'm getting helping or hurting a situation. Let's read this one more time. Sometimes walking away is the only option. You know, where's your door? If that door is closed and you're knocking and it's not opening and you have to go out into this, you know, dry looking field and wait for another door that's your door, then you walk along that dry field. Sometimes we have a little bit of a dry spell, you know, but there's still a purpose. I don't know why I just saw a camel. I saw a camel and I saw a desert and then I saw an oasis. You know, maybe it's waiting for your oasis. But I feel like if there is something that requires longevity to get across, it's maybe making sure your power supply is on, that you reboot yourself. But I feel like you have the resources you need to get through. I don't know why I feel like you're savoring the trip across. It's just like the camel. Maybe it's also the straw that broke the camel's back. Since I do see a camel here, maybe it's knowing that if you gave somebody a little slack and you gave them more slack and you gave them more slack and they kept kind of pushing or poking or anything like that, then maybe it's you kind of putting up the hand, not taking any more, walking away, going in a different direction. Sometimes walking away is the only option because you want to make somebody miss you or realize they took you for granted, but because you finally respect yourself enough to know you deserve better. Also, I feel like that respecting yourself is why you are valued, why you're being noticed, why people see you in this position of success, why you are an inspiration to others, why you are gaining new supporters, why you are even maybe connecting to a new soul family. I'm getting like soul tribe. I kind of feel like you're I don't know why I see like I feel like you're the hero in a situation, but I don't feel like you necessarily did anything that you think is that special. I feel like I'm getting like little acts of kindness actually, where you're looked up to, people respect you, you're almost seen as the leader, even though maybe some of you aren't the official leader of the tribe or whatever that is. I feel like there is something you are meant to lead, but maybe it's tiny little examples and not some big glorious win. I feel like maybe all of those little, you know, rods of passion or sparks of creation or spiritual energy that's building up is the succession of the glorious win, which is, I get that each step of the way. I'm also saying for some of you that some of you may have gotten stuck, or you felt like that first step in a new direction was pretty much the hardest one. So if you're just hesitating on that first step, take one step and then take another and trust yourself each step of the way. I did bring my mystery deck, so let's maybe get a mystery message or two and end this reading with this. What is the final message for the collective? Please and thank you. Stop doing it for them. I like that strong message here at the end. So if you always are, you know, doing somebody's homework or helping somebody with their win, or worried overly out there at anybody else's situation, and you're always doing extra credit, you're always, you know, trying to make somebody succeed, this is actually somebody that needs to maybe fall off of that horse or have a door that is closed. Because if this is an enabling kind of energy and somebody is not ever gifted the opportunity to fall down and then maybe see that they can get back up, that's a bigger gift and a bigger lesson, that somebody gains their own strength than always making sure that everybody is secure or that everybody is pleased. Stop doing it for them. Maybe it's even, this could even be the energy where somebody is looking at somebody's potential and giving them the benefit of the doubt, but way too many times. Let's get another message. What's one more? Please and thank you. Maybe some of you need to have a private conversation about maybe all of the process that you've had to get to where you are. Maybe some of you have a private conversation coming in, and that is what is spinning this wheel in a different direction. Maybe some of you felt like there was stuck communication, and that communication is going to start to spin, start to move. It's also not getting in your head about how that conversation goes. I feel like it's that getting off the bench, saying hello, you know, just asking the question you want to ask, addressing the thing you want to address, and then just kind of let something go, let something flow. I stared at that, so maybe we need to take that too. You do have a golden path. You do have your wheel of fortune and opportunity coming in. For some of you, maybe this is even a business situation. For some of you, this is a love situation. For some of you, maybe this has to do with a friend or soul family. Maybe it's a private conversation that changes it all. If it's a golden opportunity or a golden path, that means the energy is going to last. The energy of gold doesn't lose any value from the beginning to the end. Its value is maintained. So this is you also valuing yourself. And then I do feel like it starts there. Others will value you, but you kind of don't even care if they don't, because if they don't value you, that's probably not the person that's best suited to be in your life. And that would be an okay thing to distance yourself from. I hope some of these messages were helpful. Let's get you one more. I have another half of this mystery deck. What is the final mystery message that would be helpful for the collective, please? Ooh, you will be shocked on how much I have changed. I feel like that's what you're doing. That's why you're shining. That's why I saw that year before energy. You know, if somebody hasn't seen you in a while and all of a sudden you come in with this different vibe, this different style, this different new you that believes in yourself, knows how you are valuing your life and your choices and what you deserve, maybe that's where this person is shocked. But you could also be the one that is shocked by how somebody else has changed. Maybe that was inspired by you. because I am getting that this is an amazingly beautiful change, and I keep hearing proud, that you are going to be proud of. Proud of somebody else, proud of yourself. With this, I bid you adieu. I'm gonna trek back through the water up there to the beach. Rose is calm now, and I look forward to seeing you very soon. I hope these messages were helpful today. I love you so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.